Hello and welcome to our September nature video. I'm Samantha from Twinkle and we're going to go out and about exploring, seeing what we can find in nature this September. Rachel told us several areas to look at, and one of those was the sky, which you can see behind me here. Now, this September day, it is really clouded over, and when I left my house, it wasn't raining, and it's now raining, so you'll see me slowly get wet in this video because I didn't bring a coat with me, so I should have checked the weather. But I can see some blue skies that way as well. So the weather in September is being very changeable. It is also definitely cold enough that I need to be wearing my jumper. So what's the weather like where you are? It doesn't matter where you go outside, but you just simply can go outside and feel what the weather's like and look at what the sky is looking like. One of the first things that I've noticed on my walk is this field that is full of wheat that has all been cut back and harvested. I found one bit of wheat here, so I know it was a wheat field, and you can see all the grains in there that the farmer would have taken away, ready to go and be turned into flour. Now this is a really cool thing to see because September is a time of change. So all the plants have been harvested and taken away and they've gone to a grain store, and then this field is going to be ploughed and maybe even replanted already, ready for the next harvest. So you might see some fields where everything is quite empty, it's starting to go quite bare, and you might see some fields that have started to be ploughed as well. So if you go out in September, can you notice any differences to the fields and what's in them? Something else that Rachel said to look at was for seeds, and I have found these amazing green spiky balls on this tree, so I quite want to find out what kind of seeds they might be. You might know. And so that's amazing to see all of these different kinds of seeds when we're out and about on our walk. There are some other seeds behind me as well, so let's go and take a closer look at those. Here we've got some blackberries. Now blackberries you might often associate with September and the time of making some blackberry and apple pies. Now lots of these have already died away, and that might be because of the hot weather we've been having recently. So actually all the blackberries have come out early and there aren't actually that many here. And blackberries have seeds hidden inside them. So if you try and eat a blackberry, or if you squish one between your fingers, you might be able to see some of the seeds. And when birds eat these blackberries, because they're very tasty and yummy, they'll fly off and do some business somewhere else where they'll do a poo, and they'll spread those seeds because seeds tend to not be digested. So then more blackberry bushes can grow somewhere else further away from where the original bush is. Let's keep exploring and see what else we can find. Something that has surprised me going out and about is how green all the trees still are. I thought we'd see a lot more brown trees because you think of September as autumn, whereas actually this tree here is still very, very green. So perhaps, but if I feel the leaves, they're starting to feel a bit crispy. They aren't looking as bright green as they are. They've got lots of little yellow spots on. So looking really closely, I think we can start to see some of the signs of autumn approaching of the seasonal changes, but it's not quite as autumnal as we might think. And I could also see a few acorns on this tree, which is another type of seed. So you might even be able to spot some acorns out and about this September. Keeping a nature journal is a really nice way to record some of your observations, your feelings, the temperature, the weather as you go out and about exploring each month, so you can make note of some of the changes. Here I have just printed off a nice nature poster from Twinkle, a half page, and then I've just put in some blank sheets of paper so we can record what we have seen each month. And then I've also printed off some of the Twinkle guides as well on leaves and seeds, so we might be able to note down some of the things we've seen. So it's so simple and easy for you to do this each time you go out and about. And this time I'm going to do a really simple way of observing what we've seen, and that is simply by drawing. So I'm going to draw outlines of the different things we have seen. Now you might like to get some leaves and actually draw around the leaf, so you've got a full scale out, and then maybe colour in some of the leaves I've found. So that's a really simple way for you to make notes on nature. You might also like to record the temperature. So for example, it is quite chilly. I've got my jumper on. It is still raining slightly, so there's still a spot of rain about, and anything else you might see, like some fungus we've seen, or anything else you can observe around you. So make as many notes as you like. And then it'll be exciting when we come to October to see how the leaves have changed then. Here is another amazing thing I have found, which is all of this fungus, and I'm going to be really careful not to touch any of it. So it's really important you don't touch or pick fungus, because you don't know what it might be, and there are quite a few poisonous ones about, but there is loads of different types here on this tree, which is amazing to see. And I do wonder if that is just a September thing or if it's here all of the time. So we'll have to keep an observation of how much fungus we can see. And again, this is something we could draw in our nature journal, but being really careful not to touch it. You could just kind of draw the shape and then do a bit of shading for the different colours. One final observation is all of these stinging nettles behind me are definitely starting to die away, which is one reason I quite like going out walking in the autumn, because there aren't as many stinging nettles out and about. So you can see they're all starting to die away for new life, for new growth ready to come next year. So it's a really exciting time in September as all of these changes are happening. I hope you've enjoyed going out exploring nature with me and all of the fun we've had, and looking forward to October, where we'll be out exploring again and seeing what else we can spot.